and Jay will be joining us by Zoom. 80, yeah. Jay's here.
I could be zooming.
Yeah, he's constantly online with his headset, so I can never tell if he's here or not. Okay, so who starts now? 80. Hello, AD. Everybody, this is AD.
Can you hear me, Nick? Yeah. I'm an addict. My name is AD. Hey, Orlando. I'm an addict and I live in the United Kingdom, and I'm really grateful to share my experience with you. I'm just going to just look at the time because I've got limited time to share, but I'm really grateful to be here, and the last few years has been a lot of experience on virtual recovery, and it is an honour for us to participate here in the World Convention around virtual recovery. And my topic, I love topics, is distant sponsorship, and I've got an hour's workshop in my head, and I'm going to have to try and run this off in 30 minutes. As a British person, I speak very fast, so I'll apologise if I'm running through this like I've been smoking methamphetamine, but there is a lot to share, and there's some amazing stuff happening worldwide that so many members don't know about, and many members raise eyebrows and stuff. But this has been, we've just celebrated our 4th year going worldwide with distant sponsorship. It started in the UK. I've been involved with fellowship development, outreach has always been my passion. Sponsorship of my own group is been life-saving for me, and it's been my passion for years. And getting to the places where Narcotics Anonymous isn't, and where there's lack of experience and many other kind of hurdles has been my passion for years. And I've always gone the extra mile. And there was a small little pocket in the United Kingdom that lacked NA experience, had different sort of groups going to meetings and causing lots of problems. So we were given this task just over 4 years ago, and through sort of my experience with fellowship development, I've been doing prison sponsorship for years. Again, another thing behind the walls, and really passionate about reaching out to members where there wasn't H&I, and just doing sponsorship through that. And so I was given the task, I took on the task, and I developed it in not reinventing the wheel, and just sort of using their guidelines and questionnaire and tailoring it to sort of distant sponsorship. And it's all been ratified by the UK region. And the strangeness of the story is this was here to support the UK, and what kind of happened by magic is it started springboarding around the world. And to my amazement, really, that it was starting to sort of hit pockets around the world. And it didn't actually get our first request from the UK for about 18 months. And again, as any sort of new sort of service position, it has been very sort of difficult to get off the ground and sort of get out there and stuff. And, I've been travelling all around the UK and Europe doing workshops, attending European service days and just, workshops and flyers, and hitting home groups and regions and areas, and just sort of really kind of getting this out here. And it's a lot of word of mouth and stuff, and travelling. And you know, a lot of people frown on this because, you know, how does it work? You know, sort of, you know, our predecessors and people think that you need to go to meetings to find your sponsor. But as many people that I know in my experience now, we haven't got what a lot of people have got on our doorsteps. You know, I've experienced people with illness, you know, people with disabilities, people living rurally, people in institutions. You know, I've encountered people living in mountains and not having Narcotics Anonymous for, you know, I don't know what it is in the US, but it's about, in UK it's miles, about 90 miles was the nearest meeting. We've had people applying that are paralysed. You know, they're paralysed from the neck down, so, you know, they can't leave the house and stuff like that. So again, how does it work? I mean, how does sponsorship work? I mean, that is a very personal experience between sponsor and sponsee. Distance sponsorship is like the magic of the middleman. You know, my roles and responsibilities is to get the requests in and then kind of link them up with a sponsor. The questionnaire is very basic, really. It's just, you know, it's all NA stuff, NA sponsor, NA meetings, NA steps and traditions. Minimum clean time is 2 years, and you've had to gone up to a fifth step. There have been many challenges in this, and, you know, again, we have been tasked by NORS to help out Africa because, you know, there's been a lot of fellowship development there in Africa, and, you know, there are many places that are not fortunate as many of us have got sort of NA on our doorstep. So, yeah, we've hit many places in Africa, and it's been very open-minding for me, really, to see the kind of picture of the world and sort of the countries we have hit. Hopefully Nick's got the slide up of all the business cards and the countries we've kind of met. Some of the difficulties and challenges, I mean, I'll share a bit of personal experience, but cultural differences can be difficult. Technology in different countries are very different. Language has been difficult, not in translation, but is meanings of words in different languages means different to me in the UK, and that again can lead me to personal experience. I sponsor people in Europe. I got fed up. This is personal experience, by the way. I got fed up with sponsoring people in the UK. You know, their priorities change and their direction change. So I started sponsoring people in Europe, and I have one sponsor in Slovenia, one in Finland, and one in Amsterdam, and a little bit of experience. I'm just keeping an eye on the time. Is also Narcotics Anonymous is very different in other countries. In the UK, we have got a well-oiled, experienced service system here. You know, it's well full of policies and guidelines, and our service structure is really well-oiled for, you know, a good 36 years now. And my sponsee from Slovenia is trying to explain about going into jails and stuff and how they were doing it and stuff. And again, for me, is about being open to the differences in different countries and not what we've got here, you know, full of guidelines, policies, prison liaison officers and stuff, and it's very different. So definitely emotions are different to what they are, the meanings in different countries and different languages, and some countries definitely don't have certain words for certain meanings I have. So how does it work? Well, we are in a virtual recovery. I have done weekly with a sponsee, virtually without fail, step work through Skype. It works perfectly, like I'm speaking to you in Orlando. You know, it is face to face. It works. I've taken one sponsee through the flat book. My one from Slovenia, we've been working for 8 months, and he's midway through his 4th step. And the joy for me is I've met all my sponsees. I've just recently been in Amsterdam on the 30th year anniversary, and that's the 3rd time I've met one of my sponsees this year. It's really beautiful. There are so many different parts of this world that lacks Narcotics Anonymous, lacks experience. And one of the joys for me is we've had so many women come through distance sponsorship this year. In 6 weeks, we had 60 requests from women. And we have 2 women. I don't know. I know one lives in New York, but we have 2 women. They're both. I think one's 32 years clean, and one is 33 years clean. So you may even think that people will request a sponsor that are new, returning early in recovery. The longest clean time the request we've had is 25 years. And when somebody's requesting that is for me, for me, a suggestion as a sponsor has been an integral part as much as my own group for me staying clean. And I am very fortunate that I have sponsors, that sounds a bit addict style. I have a sponsor locally, but we're into our 5th year now, and I will finish because it will lead on to another topic. I've been doing online meetings now for 2.5 years, and that has also been a catalyst for members needing sponsors. When you're meeting single parents, disabilities, and experience a lot more mental health stuff online, and especially social anxiety, disabilities, rural places. And I will finish on that. I was attending one of the online meetings Jay will probably talk about, and I spoke to these guys. I'd only just got out of hospital, and I spoke to 2 of these guys. They were in Peru. They were living in the jungle in wherever in Peru, and fortunately, one of my friends had just been out there, and he'd met both of them and stuff. And so I spoke to them. They both needed sponsors, so I spoke to them after the meeting. I gave them the email address, and by the morning, that was 9 o'clock at night. By 9 o'clock in the morning, this guy had a sponsor in Brazil. So I tried to sort of link him up really close. And for me, a lot of our predecessors, we're getting older. For me, there's a lot of illness personally and in this fellowship, and a lot of people are not mobile as much as they were. So I'm really grateful. I've stuck to my time limit. I love sponsorship. I love distance sponsorship for something that started in the UK just to help a small pocket to cover the whole of the world. Some of the countries I've never even heard of. I think it was the Maldives. It was just like, it was this tiny little island, and I was like, what? You need a sponsor? And, explaining this stuff, and it's just a wonderful tool. And, I'm really grateful to work with Nick. Nick, thanks for asking me. For an addict of my description, I will probably not get to a World Convention till they come to Europe through illness and criminal records. So to participate, a small inkling in a World Convention means more than anything. And with that, I love you, Orlando, and I'll leave it there. Thank you.
Adi got a quick question for you. If people wanted to be a sponsor to help you, with some, especially these women that are looking for sponsors. How do they get in contact with you?
Yeah.
The mic is on the computer.
Oh,
So we will have to.
okay, 80.
Yep. Are they on the slides, Nick? Because I give Pam the business cards.
I don't think I actually have that 80, but they could go to the UKNA website, couldn't they?
Yes, it's. I've got the cards. Ugh.
Nice, that's
Take
good,
a
mate.
picture. Oh, that's good. Take a picture. So it's the full to four, not the color piece.
Distance start sponsorship. I think we have it. It's on their handout, isn't it?
No, it isn't.
No, she. I don't think she put. She just put the meetings on there, Nick.
Just the meetings.
Move it over a little bit, Eddie. Good. Right there.
And then there's that side as well.
AD.
ADE.
80.
Hello.
El Presidente.
Yes, Jay.
Go ahead.
Should we go with
Yeah.
more questions for
Nope,
Aid?
nope.
No?
No, let's.
Okay.
80.
Thank you, AD.
We'll come back to you if you've got more questions for you, mate.
Yeah.
That just seems
Thanks.
like a real pertinent one.
Yeah. So I'll go now. Again, I'm Ramiro. I'm an addict.
Hi, Romero.
Hi, everybody. Well, first of all, I'm thankful and a little bit, like scared by doing this. Somebody suggested